You just found the perfect used Subaru. Great price, low miles, clean photos. The seller says it's been babied and has 0 issues. Sounds too good to be true? It probably is. Here's the reality. The used car market is full of cars with hidden problems, undisclosed accidents, deferred maintenance, engine issues covered up with quick fixes, and sellers who'll tell you whatever you want to hear just to make the sale. And Subarus? They're especially vulnerable to specific problems that inexperienced buyers completely miss. I'm talking about head gasket failures, CVT transmission issues, oil consumption problems, and hidden rust that'll cost you thousands to fix after you've already handed over your money. The worst part? Most of these issues are completely preventable if you know what to look for. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to inspect a used Subaru like a professional mechanic. I'll walk you through every red flag, every common problem area, and every trick dishonest sellers use to hide issues. Whether you're shopping for an Outback, Forester, WRX, Impreza, or any other Subaru, this inspection checklist will save you from buying someone else's problem. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to check, what questions to ask, and when to walk away. You'll never get scammed on a used Subaru again. Let's get started. Before you even go see the car. Your inspection starts before you ever meet the seller. First, get the VIN number. Every legitimate seller should give you this without hesitation. If they refuse, that's red flag number 1. Walk away immediately. Once you have the VIN, run a vehicle history report. Use Carfax or AutoCheck. Yes, they cost about $40, but that's cheap insurance against buying a car with a hidden past. What are you looking for in the report? Accident history. Even minor accidents can cause long-term problems with alignment and resale value. Title status. Make sure it's a clean title, not salvage, rebuilt, or flood damaged. Ownership history. Multiple owners in a short time is a red flag. It means people kept getting rid of it, probably because of problems. Service records. Look for regular maintenance, especially oil changes. A well-documented service history is a great sign. Mileage consistency. Make sure the odometer readings make sense chronologically. If the mileage ever goes backward, the odometer's been tampered with. If the history report shows accidents, title issues, or gaps in service records, seriously reconsider. There are plenty of clean Subarus out there. Don't settle for a problematic one. The visual walk-around inspection. Alright, you've arrived to see the car. Don't let excitement cloud your judgment. Stay methodical. Start with a walk-around before you even open a door. Check the panel gaps. Look at the gaps between body panels, the doors, hood, trunk, and fenders. They should be even and consistent on both sides of the car. If one side has wider gaps than the other, or if panels don't line up properly, the car has been in an accident and repaired poorly. Run your finger along the edges of panels. Feel for rough spots or overspray. That's a sign of amateur bodywork. Look for paint mismatches. Subaru's factory paint is very consistent. If one panel looks slightly different in color or texture, it's been repainted. This isn't always a deal breaker. Panels get scratched and repainted all the time, but it does mean the seller should disclose it. Check inside the door jambs, under the hood, and in the trunk. Look for overspray on rubber seals or plastic trim. That's a dead giveaway of a repaint. Inspect the tires. Look at all 4 tires. They should be the same brand and similar tread depth. If the tires are mismatched, that tells you the owner cut corners on maintenance. What else did they skimp on? Check the tread depth with a penny. Stick Lincoln's head into the tread. If you can see all of his head, the tires need replacing soon. That's $600 to $800 you'll need to spend immediately. Also look for uneven wear. If the inside or outside edge is more worn than the center, the car has alignment issues. Check for rust. Subarus are notorious for rusting in certain areas, especially if they've spent time in snowy, salty climates. Get down low and look at the rocker panels, the area below the doors. Check the wheel well. Look at the rear quarter panels. Surface rust can be managed, but if you see holes, flaking metal, or structural rust, Walk away. Rust repair is expensive and never really stops once it starts. Also, check the underside if you can. Bring a flashlight and look at the frame rails and suspension components. Heavy rust here is a serious problem. Under the hood, where the real problems hide. Pop the hood. This is where you'll find most of the expensive issues. Check the oil. Pull the dipstick. Look at the oil color and consistency. Good oil is amber or light brown and relatively clean. If it's jet black and gritty, the owner hasn't been changing it regularly. That's a major red flag for engine wear. Also, check the oil level. It should be between the minimum and maximum marks. If it's low, the engine either burns oil or has a leak. Both are problems. Now smell the oil. If it smells like gasoline, you've got a fuel system problem. If it smells burnt or acrid, the engine's been overheated. Look for oil leak Subarus, especially older ones with the EJ25 engine, are famous for head gasket leaks and valve cover leaks. Look at the engine block around the head gaskets, where the top half of the engine meets the bottom half. If you see crusty, dried oil or fresh wetness, you've got a head gasket leak. Replacing head gaskets on a Subaru costs $2,000 to $3,000. If the seller hasn't disclosed this, use it as serious negotiating leverage or walk away. Also, check the valve covers on top of the engine. Oil seeping from under the valve covers is common on high-mileage Subarus. It's not as serious as a head gasket leak, but it still needs fixing. Check the coolant open the coolant reservoir and look inside. The coolant should be bright pink or green, depending on the type Subaru uses. If it's brown, rusty, or murky, the cooling system hasn't been maintained. Dirty coolant leads to corrosion, radiator leaks, and eventually overheating. Also look for oil in the coolant or a milky appearance. That's a sign of a blown head gasket, which means coolant and oil are mixing. That's a $2,000 plus repair. Walk away immediately. Inspect the belts and hoses. Look at the serpentine belt. It should be clean and free of cracks. If it's glazed or has visible cracks, it needs replacement soon. Check the radiator hoses. Squeeze them gently. They should be firm but slightly flexible. If they're rock hard or squishy and soft, they're old and need replacing. Check for engine modifications. If you're looking at a WRX or WRX STI, check for modifications, aftermarket intakes, exhaust systems, turbo upgrades. These can be fun, but they also mean the car's been driven hard. Modified cars often have hidden problems. Unless you're specifically looking for a modified car and know what you're getting into, avoid heavily modified Subarus. Inside the car, comfort and electronics. Now let's get inside. Check the odometer. Does the mileage match what the seller told you? Does it match the history report? Also, does the mileage make sense for the car's age? A 2015 Subaru with only 30,000 miles is suspicious. Test. All the electronics. Turn the key to the on position without starting the car. Watch the dashboard. All the warning lights should illuminate briefly, then go out. If a warning light doesn't come on at all, the bulb might have been removed to hide a problem. Start the car and make sure all the warning lights go out. If any stay on, that's a problem that needs diagnosing. Now test everything. Windows, all 4 of them. Power locks. Lock and unlock all the doors. Sunroof. Open and close it fully. Listen for grinding. Climate control. Make sure the AC blows cold and the heat gets hot. Radio and infotainment. Make sure the screen works and all speakers produce sound. Seat adjustments. Test power seats, heated seats, and lumbar adjustments. If any of these don't work, that's money you'll need to spend after buying the car. Inspect the interior condition. Sit in the driver's seat. Excessive wear, rips, or stains indicates hard use. Check the steering wheel. If it's heavily worn or the leather is cracked, the car's been driven a lot. Look at the pedal. Worn down rubber indicates high mileage. If the pedals look brand new, but the odometer shows 100,000 miles, something's fishy. Smell the interior. A musty smell means water leaks or mold. Heavy air freshener might be covering up smoke or pet odors. The test drive, where problems reveal themselves. Never buy a used car without driving it. Take it on the highway, through stop-and-go traffic, and over some rough road. Cold start. If possible, visit when the car's been sitting for a few hours. A cold start reveals problems that a warm engine hides. Turn the key and listen. The engine should start quickly and idle smoothly. If it cranks for a long time or idles rough, you've got issues. Watch for blue smoke from the exhaust on startup. That's oil burning, a sign of worn piston ring. White smoke means coolant burning, likely a head gasket problem. Walk away. Black smoke means it's running rich, usually a sensor or fuel system issue. Listen to the engine. While driving, listen carefully to the engine. Ticking or tapping noises could be lifter noise or low oil. Knocking or pinging under acceleration could be carbon buildup or worse, rod knock. If you hear knocking, stop the test drive immediately. Whining or squealing could be a bad belt or bearing. Feel the transmission. If it's a manual, the clutch should engage smoothly without slipping. Press the clutch and shift through all the gears. They should go in easily without grinding. If the clutch feels soft or slips, it's worn. Replacement costs $1,200 to $1,800. If it's a CVT, it should accelerate smoothly without hesitation or jerking. CVTs can be problematic in Subarus, especially 2010 to 2018 model. If you feel shuddering or hear whining from the transmission, the CVT is on its way out. Replacement costs $4,000 to $7,000. Walk away. Test the brake. Find a safe, empty stretch of road and do a hard stop from about 40 miles per hour. The car should stop straight and smoothly without pulling to one side. Listen for squealing, grinding, or groaning. That means worn brake pads or rotors. Feel the brake pedal. It should be firm. If it's soft or spongy, there's air in the lines or a brake fluid leak. Check the steering and suspension. Drive over some bumps and rough pavement. The ride should be controlled, not bouncy. If you hear clunking over bumps, you've got worn suspension components. Turn the steering wheel while driving slowly. It should be smooth and quiet. Grinding or clicking noises mean bad CV joints or wheel bearing. Look for dashboard warnings. During the test drive, watch the dashboard. If any warning lights come on, stop the test immediately and ask the seller what's going on. After the test drive, the final check. You're back from the test drive. Now, do a few more checks while the engine's warm. Check for leak. Get down and look under the car. Is anything dripping? Oil, coolant, transmission fluid. Any fluid leak is a problem. Pop the hood. Again, open the hood and listen to the engine idling. It should be smooth and quiet. Look for steam or smoke. Check the coolant reservoir. The level should be the same as before the drive. Smell the exhaust. Go to the back of the car and smell the exhaust. If it smells sweet, that's coolant burning. Head gasket problem. If it smells like burnt oil, you've got oil burning issues. Get a pre-purchase inspection. Here's the best advice I can give you. Even if everything looks good, get a pre-purchase inspection from an independent mechanic who specializes in Subaru for $100 to $150. They'll put the car on a lift, scan for trouble codes, and inspect everything thoroughly. A good mechanic will find problems you missed, and if the seller refuses to let you get an inspection, that's a massive red flag. Walk away immediately. Red flags that mean walk away immediately. Let's recap the absolute deal breaker. Seller won't provide the VIN or let you get a pre-purchase inspection accident history that wasn't disclosed salvage or rebuilt title. Signs of a blown head gasket, milky oil, white smoke, coolant loss, CVT transmission, shuddering or slipping, rust holes or structural rust. Check engine light that the seller can't explain. Heavy modifications without documentation. If you see any of these, don't try to negotiate. Just walk away. There are too many good used Subarus out there to settle for a problematic one. The bottom line. Buying a used Subaru can be a great decision. These cars are reliable, capable, and hold their value well. But only if you buy a good one. Do your homework. Inspect thoroughly. Test drive carefully, and don't be afraid to walk away if something doesn't feel right. Use this checklist every time you look at a used Subaru, and you'll avoid the scams, the hidden problems, and the buyer's remorse. Your future self will thank you when you're driving a solid, reliable Subaru instead of dumping money into repairs on a lemon. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to watch this next video as we're sharing insider tips to help you cut repair costs and keep your car running like new.